Hello my dear students. In this video, let us continue with few more advantages of e-commerce. So in our previous video, we have completed up to the first 5. So moving on to the 6th advantage, here buyer makes a buying decision. He creates the purchase order but doesn't print it. See, whenever there is an online transaction, whenever you place an order, though the customer doesn't print their order purchase, but still electronically that order purchase copy will be stored. Okay, so it's not compulsory that he needs to get it printed out in order to have a proof as if that he has purchased the order, because for every transaction a transaction ID will be created internally. So by referring to that, we can make out which customer has placed the order. Moving on to the next one, that is improved market intelligence and strategic planning. So most of the biggest firms like Flipkart and all, Amazon, such kinds of business vendors will have to use the strategic planning for understanding what is the present and the future business environment would be, by making certain kind of decision related to their business, so that they will be always following an certain kind of strategic planning in order to enhance their business. Moving on to the next advantage, that is the EDI software creates an electronic version of the purchase order and transmit automatically to the supplier. EDI actually stands for electronic data interchange. So it's a kind of electronic interchange in the form of information between one company to the another company electrically. Understood? So there will be no any form of paper usage. Maybe a computer form of purchase order will be generated, and that a copy of that will be immediately sent to the supplier that so and so customer has placed the purchase order. The next advantage is supplier's order entry system receives the purchase order and updates the system immediately on receipt. Suppose think that a customer places an purchase order, immediately the supplier will get an intimation in her supplier's order entry system where he receives the purchase order, and the system will immediately updates with an receipt, so that the supplier will get to know how many orders are being placed by the different customers. Moving on to the last advantage, the supplier's order entry system creates an acknowledgement and transmit it back to the confirmed receipt. That means, suppose that the product is being delivered, or before to that, if the customer has been made the online payment to the supplier, and automatically an acknowledgement will be generated to the supplier that the payment has been done by that particular customer. Similarly, an acknowledgement will also be generated when the product has been delivered to the particular customer, and it also transmitted back to confirm the receipt to the supplier. So here the acknowledgement will be generated both to the customer as well as the supplier when the product has been delivered. The customer usually will get an acknowledgement saying that your product has been delivered. We hope you are very happy with enjoyable or something like that. So similarly, supplier also will get an acknowledgement that the product was successful delivered. So all these were the different kinds of advantages of using the e-commerce. Hello my dear students. Moving on to the last topic of this chapter, that is the intellectual property rights issues. So before we start with this topic, let us know what is intellectual property is. Before I start with, I'll give an example. So this intellectual property is, suppose think a person has invented a new machine. then the government will provide certain intellectual property rights for him in order to protect his work, because there is a chance of any third person may copy his work and he may develop a new product or a new machine, or the third person may come and steal that machine, okay, and earn the money out of it. So in order to stop these kinds of illegal activities, the government has provided certain intellectual property rights. And the name why they have used intellectual, because here they are concerning the work based upon the knowledge. Any person who has invented new thing or designed any new thing, then the government is helping them in order to provide their ownership. They are providing the owner's right for them so that nobody can snatch their rights, by stealing it or by copying it or by selling it to some any other person. So in order to provide such kinds of rights, they are nothing but intellectual property rights. Okay, now let us see the definition. Intellectual property is defined as the product of intelligence. Any product that has been developed out of intelligence has the certain commercial value for it. So what kind of value? That may include copyright properties can be applied, properties can be applied, or such as literacy, or any kind of artistic works it might be, that invention might be, and any kind of additional property it might be. So whatever the inventions, it might be in different areas. It might be any inventions or the creations of mind, such as it might be in the terms of invention, literacy, artistic works, designs, symbols, logos they may have, or names, images, anything it might be. So intellectual properties, it is protected by the laws through the patents, copyrights and trademarks, which usually enables the people to earn certain recognition or to provide certain financial benefit from what they have invented or created. Okay, these intellectual property rights are being considered to be as the legal or the commercial rights. Why we call it as legal right is, suppose if any third person comes and tries to copy the machine and tries to create a copy of it, then a legal action can be taken against the third person, because certain rights are being given to the owner in order to maintain their ownership. Only they can have the right to provide the copies of that software. No any third person can copy that particular software or the product. We can also call it as those term it as a commercial right, because they are related money matters. So the owner itself can send the software to the product or the machine. It might be anything, invention it might be, in any field it might be. They can sell it and they can earn money through it. That's why we can also call them intellectual property rights as a commercial rights. So this commercial rights actually came in India, that is in the year of 1970, Indian Patent Act was being passed. Then in the year of 1995, India joined World Trade Organization. So World Trade Organization have set the standards, what exactly the intellectual property rights should have, consist of all the different kinds of rights, like trademark, copyright, patents, designs, geographical indication, all the different kinds of the intellectual property rights are being governed, or the standards are given by the World Trade Organization. Under the World Trade Organization, India has been signed an agreement and it is complied with the TRIPS, that is the Trade Related Intellectual Property Rights. It's a multilateral agreement with the World Trade Organization in relation with the intellectual property rights. So India has signed an agreement known as TRIPS, that is a Trade Related Intellectual Property Rights, with the World Trade Organization in relation to the intellectual property rights. So World Trade Organization is the one who is actually have set the standard what rights should be given to such kinds of inventions, no matter they may belong to the different fields, like art, it might be artistic field, it might be invention, or it might be designing in terms of symbols, okay, names. They might be having an images, or it might be movies, it might be in terms of composing of songs. No matter anything it might be, but making sure that it is a kind of a new invention. Okay, so all this was about the intellectual property, and certain different types of intellectual properties that are related issues in India are the common one: trademark, copyright, and payments, designs, and geographical indication. Among that, these three are very popular intellectual property rights. Let us see some of the terminologies. That is a trademark. Trademark actually provides the brand value in terms of the symbols or the logos that would distinguish one product from the another. For an example, Google Chrome. Google Chrome is having its own logo, right? So no other different browser can have the same kind of logos. If they have, a legal action would be taken against them. So they are nothing but the trademarks. And certain beverages, cold drinks and all, they have their own kinds of symbols on it, right? Like Adidas, they are having their own symbols. They are nothing but the trademarks. Okay. Then what is copyright? Copyright, it actually gives the rights for the creative works, like artistic works, like creating of movies, okay, painting, okay, composer, singing, okay, anyone, for just an example, I can give the movie Captain Marvel. So such kind of a movie nobody else can create. A copy of that, a replica of that cannot be created, because that movie is having its own copyrights. If anyone does, a legal action will be taken against them, because copyright is also having certain period of time. They cannot release the same kind or a copy of that movie. Then is the patent. Patent is a form of right that has been granted for the owner in order to prevent any third person using their invention or selling it. Okay, so usually if any person have invented any product, he need to go and get the patent. So once he get the patent, at least for the next 20 years, nobody can copy his work or nobody can steal his work. So that, suppose for example, usually it happens, these all things are needed in case of research field. Suppose if any scientist has invented something, he has done some research work, then no other third person can come and claim that he has done. If he had taken a patent, then obviously he can prove, the certificates will be given, he can prove that it is the owner's work. Okay, so like this, certain intellectual properties rights are being issued by the government in order to protect the inventor's work. Okay, moving on to the benefits of IPR. The first one is the wealth creation. Wealth creation, it is nothing but mind to make the market communication. That means it completely gives the some kind of inventors may merge with the different business vendors, and they can make a money out of it, and then they may sell their product itself to the any different companies. So it is one of the benefit as the wealth creation. Next is legitimate ownership. As we all know that so many different kinds of rights have been provided to have the legitimate ownership. That means for their work, there will be only one whole and sole ownership. No any other person can copy it, steal it, okay, and redistribute that software to any other person. It provides the legitimate ownership. Monopoly means once the patent is been provided up to 20 years, it can keep the others by not copying that particular work. That means it prevents any third person by copying your software. So monopoly usually states that stay in business and keep others out. Okay, only the owners will be having the authority to sell the software. Entry into the big league. That means it will help the certain inventors in order to merge with the different startup companies, or they may have their own business. They can have their own business and get into the business field. Bargaining power. Suppose the two different inventors can merge their technology or the inventions, and then they work upon the same by having a mutual understanding. That's his bargaining power. Moving on to the next advantage, that's a talent attraction. Yes, obviously it's a kind of a benefit, because the one who is inventing the new products with their own intellectual ability or by their own knowledge, the IPR is providing their legitimate ownership. IPR is also providing certain means of business for them. Okay, by having the collaborations with some other companies or other startup business. Okay, by that they can have the wealth creation, they can have the legitimate ownership. Okay, moving on to the next one, that is a collaboration. That means the invention, the whatever the new invention of the product of that owner may collaborate with so many companies in order to provide still more a better kind of a product it may develop, or to make any modifications on the invented product so that it could be helpful for the public. And the lastly is the image of trustworthy organization. Yes, once the IPR provides any patent or the copyright or the trademark for any of the individual person, or it might be to any of the companies, it will see to that no any third party can get access to that particular product or the software. So it will be having certain time period limit. Up till that, at least IPR will not allow any kind of third persons to access for such kinds of products. So these were all the benefits of the IPR, and hence your internet and open source chapter has been completed. I hope the concepts are clear to you. Watch the videos clearly once again. Solve the assignments. Take care of your health. Thank you, students.